Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I draw hands. Hands are definitely, they're tough. This is the most requested tutorial probably every artist on YouTube gets. And there's some good hand drawing videos out there. I just figured I'd show you guys my quick tips, the things I do on a regular basis to draw fast hands from imagination. So I'm going to do this by drawing a hand monster. I feel like having the reference of arms and stuff like that attached to the hands are going to help you guys kind of understand a little bit. So I'm just going to draw like a shape right here, and I'm going to draw this kind of forearm coming off like this. So we got an arm, and so right here we got our forearm, and you got your wrist. So I like to put a slight bend in my hands like a lot of the time. So I'll have the wrist joint right here, and then I'll kind of angle down towards the ground. So this shape right here, this kind of weird, odd, not quite square shape is what I draw almost all the time for hands in a lot of positions. You got your thumb joint right here, and then your finger joints up top. Generally, I wouldn't put those circles in, but just for reference. One thing I see artists and people do a lot is they put this thumb joint too close to the finger joints. You can see there is a big space between those two. A lot of times, younger artists will put those too close together. So this is quick. I'm gonna do just a simple like banana shape for the thumb. And then I'm gonna have this finger kind of coming down like this. And you got your webbing just like that. And then I'll just draw another finger behind this one. And there you go, that's the first little hand. Simple. This looks really stiff though, right? So now we're gonna do another arm kind of coming off. And we're gonna exaggerate the wrist bend on this one. So this might be like a creepy monster. So we're gonna put a big exaggerated bend on this one, and we're gonna really extend that. We're gonna draw our little shape right here, and then we're gonna really extend that thumb out this direction. And we're gonna bend this finger right here. It's kind of like a triangle shape that comes off of here right here for that first finger. And then we're gonna have another finger kind of come in like this, and then around like that. So you can kind of see how everything is pieced together. I talked about in my other video how seeing things in shapes versus outlines is going to help you draw from imagination a lot more. And you can see how fast I drew that hand right there. I mean, these, like I said, are hands, kind of like go-to hands. A lot of times you're drawing your characters in this front pose, and you just want interesting kind of hands to kind of go off of, or quick reference ones. So now I'm gonna let's throw another arm over here on this side. Bicep coming in, elbow, forearm, like that. Again, we'll do more of an angle on this one, more of a natural pose, not so much of a bend at the wrist. There's your wrist joint. We'll do our little shape again. We'll have the thumb a little bit more relaxed, a little bit of a hinge right there at the joint. And then this first finger. A lot of times I like to draw this first joint on the hand. So this first main big chunk, this little triangle kind of shape right there for that first finger. And you can even pull those other ones in behind it. And then I'll kind of extend off from there like that. And then these ones always kind of tuck in behind. We'll add a little bit of a bend on those back fingers right there. Maybe one kind of sneaking in back here. And then I like to shade those in when I'm drawing characters, just to remind myself, like, you know, where they're at. And then, so these are, like I said, are really basic hands. You can start to add detail in as you reference more, kind of figuring out like where details on the hands are, and you're gonna learn that stuff by referencing. So this video, really, I'm just showing you the basic shapes that I start with so that you can draw quick hands. right? So we kind of got a few side views down. Let's try and do some fists, right? So let's have some really long arms that kind of come down over here. Forearm like this. And let's have it walking. Let's have this thing walking on fist, right? This is like the easiest fist to draw right here. Are you guys ready for this? This is like how you could draw things in this fist, like if it's holding something, and it's basically this top view of the fist, and it's like kind of like this shape right here. You got, this is the knuckle of the thumb right there, and then you just come across right here. Now this is on the ground because he's walking on these, but if it wasn't, you'd have little knuckles right there, and that's it, just this shape. So that's like about as easy as a hand as you can get, and it's really nailing this side over here where the thumb kind of comes in and tucks in behind this knuckle, and you see this in comic books like constantly, right? So that's about as easy as they get, and it's just a super simple shape. Let's have another arm. Let's do some webbing. This thing is going to be freaky. We're going to have some arms coming out behind it too. Let's give like a hard joint on this arm that's back here. And let's do a hand that is like I did a drawing of this the other day, where the thumb is kind of, actually let's do the hand flat on the ground on this one. So for this one, I'm going to draw this shape right here, just like this. And this is basically the hand flat, and you're only seeing the front part of this, right? So the finger's never going to be like straight across, like 4 circles like this. They're going to be spread out. They're always kind of like webbed out like this, right? So we're going to do like the first finger out like this, another one over here, and then the pinky finger. I always like, if I'm drawing these fingers straight out at you, these first 3, the pinky and this one are going to be a little bit more, you're going to see more of that finger, right? Across the ground. And then the thumb kind of comes out like this. We're going to have that really flat on the ground. And then we're going to have some knuckles kind of popping up right here. Just like that. So that one's, let's get some of these shapes in there a little bit better so we can identify that. The top of the finger is going to be flat where the fingernail is. And honestly, on this hand, I probably would have extended this finger out a little bit further this direction. And you're going to see the bottom of the thumb a little bit more on that. So, and it's kind of foreshortened right here. So that's kind of coming out at you. And the little pinky is a little bit too long on that one, but you get the idea. Now let's have an arm kind of coming off in this backside, and we'll have it in a kind of like a muscle man type pose. So this one's behind him, bicep comes like this, and then the arm kind of comes up like that. There we go, biceps right there, but it's behind this one. So this is another pose you might want to do. I'm gonna bend it at the wrist again because I like the bends, and then we're gonna come out like this, kind of that same shape. Got your knuckle for your fist right here, and then that front finger, right? So this one is gonna be a fist. So we're gonna just draw the front part of that thumb kind of coming in here, and this is going to tuck in just like that. So we're going to come around here and tuck it into the front part of this, and then the webbing, what we drew this line right here, this always kind of covers up part of the finger going up to that first knuckle like that, and then the finger kind of tucks in like that. It wraps in real tight. A lot of times you can like really exaggerate that so it's really bulging out because the muscle contracts like that. So we got another fist kind of coming up right there. Now for the head on this thing, let's do a crazy, like foreshortened hand, something that's really coming out at you like this. And a lot of times, so for this, I like dynamic angles, nothing straight across. We're gonna go like this. And we're gonna have the thumb kind of coming off over here. So this is definitely going to be a little bit more tricky drawing a hand like this. Obviously this foreshortening on fingers and everything, but a lot of times I like to draw the pads. So if there's pads of like the thumb and everything coming out at you, I draw those first. So the finger pad, this front pad is what I'm drawing right here. And this just helps me. I don't, this is something I've kind of done over the years, and I do it in like an arc like this. And then this pinky pad, again, I always kind of like do the pinky as the finger you see the most of. We're gonna go like that. Thumb kind of comes up like this. And we're gonna connect those to this palm that we drew earlier. And we might define those finger pads just a little bit better. And you can, like I said, as you reference, you'll get an idea of the joints a little bit better, how they're attaching to the hand. But always remember there's kind of like this arc that comes through here like this. Now you've got your big pinky like pad over here. This kind of swoops in like this. And then the thumb, again, another big muscle right there. And we'll have this thing really just, it's its head. And we're gonna do an eyeball right in the center. And this eyeball has nothing to do with hands. I just wanna draw it in there because it looks cool. We'll have it eyelid like that. Okay, again, this is kind of my tips. And do you see me adding a little bit of, like I made this finger a little bit longer, just kind of, you know, fine tuning this stuff as I go. So I'll have that come in there. We're gonna do some more hands coming off the back here. We'll do this kind of like here, got a shoulder in there, bicep, like that. And then the forearm right there. I feel like this is a good example too of drawing from imagination. So this hand is going to be kind of going like this. We'll just draw some simple noodle fingers spread out. See how high from the thumb I made those? That little finger, that's just foreshortening, going away from you. And the knuckles, you can add knuckles on the top here. So we got another cool little hand, way to draw a hand up there. Let's see, well, we got more room on this side. So let's come, oh, obviously you draw things, hands gripping things a lot. So let's draw an arm kind of coming off this back over here. We'll have it coming down. Bicep, forearm, that. And let's give this guy and wrist, bends in the wrists. Always remember, bends in the wrist because it's gonna make your character look more organic. So a slight bend in the wrist right here, then we're gonna come up like this. Now this is a simple hand to draw right here. I always focus on the thumb first, tucking around like that. You've got the sword, let's put a sword in this hand or a dagger or something. And then we're just gonna draw the knuckles. Obviously, again, you want this kind of arc. So the first knuckle, we'll draw that like that, and then arc them around. And then they tuck into the palm like this. Actually, let's change the angle on that hilt thing. And he's got a tiny little sword. Little tiny katana, because I don't want to get in front of that hand. A lot of times where the wrist attaches to the arm, I do this little indentation, this little half arc shape right here that you see. And I do that like just out of habit. I don't know where, I probably referenced it somewhere. And I've always done it, and I just like the way it looks natural, right? So I always kind of add that thing in there as well. Let's see here. Let's give this guy some more dimension or some anatomy on his stomach here. Let's give him a big kind of weird belly. Attaches around like this. Sorry, I can't help myself. I really want to draw my hand monster properly. Okay. So let's see. Just a simple hand that's will come out really long, skinny hand because we have to, because we ran out of space over here. Shoulder in, elbow like this. And we're gonna draw a top-down hand, so not an angle but flat. So this is another easy one. See the shape, there's the wrist joint right there. And for this, we've got this kind of weird shape that goes like that. We're gonna have a thumb kind of coming like this, finger, and then the pinky last, really flared out. Knuckles are right there. And then a lot of the times I'll draw little metacarpals along there. And obviously this thumb, I didn't add any real joints in it, but you can kind of go back through and you get those shapes down a little better. A lot of times I like breaking the fingers up across here. Just helps me kind of identify the joints a little bit better. I'm gonna do another fist of a version of this one real quick because I want to show you guys what like a hand might look like and how easily you can change this. We'll do it on our hand monster. We got space right here, so I'm gonna bring an arm out like this. Elbow. Okay, so we're gonna do that same shape. And this is kind of that same shape that you do with a fist. So you can already see it looks like a fist. But instead, we're gonna extend those knuckles out a little bit, but we're gonna put bends in them. So this is another great way to draw just a different type of hand, and we're gonna bend the thumb back in. So this is like a cool like hand like this from the top view. And all it is just shorter versions of these fingers across here, if that makes sense. So we got another kind of hand coming across there. Our hand monster's looking pretty good now. Let's see here. Do we got any other? Ooh, one of my favorite hands is this one. It's similar to how I did this one. We'll have a hand kind of coming up over here into this space. And this one's gonna be hard because I wanna do this one foreshortened. So I'm gonna start with a circle right here. A lot of times I just figure out how to attach things to a foreshortened object versus try to go up to the foreshortened object first. So we're gonna have a bicep kind of coming in right here. And this is a really long shoulder muscle that's coming in back here. But anyway, So this is your forearm, but you're looking at it straight on like this, right? What I like to do on this one is I'll draw a circle like that for the thumb, another one kind of like this, and I like to spread these out a ton. I do these a lot on creatures and stuff. And then the pinky is a little bit closer to that guy. And then I kind of just connect them like this. Yoink. And then I might throw in the muscles for the pinky and this one, and where those attach. And that's like a cool, like, and then the forearm, we're gonna come in a little bit right here. So you can kind of see how that hand is really dynamic. The fingernails obviously would be right here. So that's kind of like a foreshortened version of this kind of coming out at you. Okay. Yeah, I think I've covered most of my basic hands. Maybe, oh, here, I gotcha. We're gonna have another hand coming up like this. Again, foreshortened. But on this hand, we're gonna do a fist, closed fist, kind of coming out at you. A lot of times, again, I draw the front of the fist first, and these knuckles right across here, and they kind of swoop around like this. And then I might draw the tops of these in there, and then just a simple thumb kind of coming up right here. This flares out a little bit like this. Just like that. Draw some knuckle. That's a good fist kind of coming out at you. We'll draw the forearm like this, and then a bicep kind of connecting behind him like that. And this hand is backwards, so please forgive me. The thumb, I can change it real quick, watch. So I'll just move the thumb over to this side, and now it'll look a little better. So, bam, there we go. Okay, so that's the basic idea of how I draw hands. I hope you guys like this video. This is kind of interesting. I don't know, like I said, my tutorials are a little bit different than other people's, for sure. I'm not a traditional teacher in any aspect. I try to just teach it in my way. So hopefully you guys got something from this. Hopefully I didn't steer you guys astray too far. Just kind of wanted to show you how I approach drawing quick hands on my characters. And yeah, so anyway, here's the finished hand monster drawing. I really like the colors I actually used on this. I thought it turned out pretty cool. But yeah, you can kind of see the hands a little bit better rendered. I've tightened up some of those lines. But yeah, hope you guys like this video. Hope you kind of got something from it. If, you know, like I plan on doing a few more how to draw videos in the future, or how I draw things, let me know what you guys would like to see next. But anyway, that's the video. Hope you liked it, and I will catch you guys later.